The great mistake was believing the silence meant the house was empty. For all of human history, we have looked up and seen only elegant, silent chaos. We built tools to listen. For a century, our radio telescopes have strained against a torrent of cosmic noise, searching for a single ordered whisper. They found nothing. So we built a new kind of eye. An eye that could see heat, that could see time itself. We sent it 1,000,000 miles from home and told it to stare into the dark, to look for the faint heat of the universe's first dawn. We were not looking for neighbors. We were looking for ghosts.
The public thinks of it as taking pictures. Pretty pictures for a screensaver. But it's not that. It's a collector of numbers, wavelengths, spectrographic signatures. It's accounting on a cosmic scale. We find a candidate exoplanet, a world orbiting another star, and we point Webb at it. We wait for the planet to pass in front of its star, and we analyze the light that passes through its atmosphere. Carbon, methane, water vapor, the building blocks. It's painstaking. It is, most days, profoundly boring. We were observing the Lumen 16 system. It's close, only 6.5 light years away. 2 brown dwarfs, failed stars, circling each other. There were indications of a planetary body there, caught between them. We called it Lumen 16b. It shouldn't be habitable. Tidally locked, blasted with radiation from 2 directions, a terrible piece of real estate. The goal was simple atmospheric analysis, just filling in the catalog. Right there, that's the transit. The planet moving in front of one of the stars. But the data coming from the planet's dark side, the part facing away from its suns, was messy. There was thermal emission where there should be almost none, a heat signature that didn't fit any model.
An error. That's always your first assumption? A sensor anomaly? A cosmic ray hitting the detector at the wrong microsecond? You run diagnostics for a week? You recalibrate? You ask another team to check your math? You do everything you can to prove yourself wrong. But after we ruled out every instrument error, every natural phenomenon, we had to confront what the data was telling us. There was heat coming from the planet's night side. Heat sources that were small, concentrated, and in a pattern, a grid. Nature doesn't do straight lines, not like this. Not a grid of evenly spaced thermal hotspots on the cold side of a planet. It was impossible, and it was there.
The discovery was not shouted from the rooftops. It was whispered in secured video conferences. The word was quarantined. The implications were too large.
There's an old saying for fighter pilots. The moment you see the enemy on your 6, you're already dead. You didn't see him approach. You only see the result. The universe is the ultimate stealth environment. There's no sound, infinite places to hide. We've spent 100 years broadcasting our existence like fools. Radio, television, I Love Lucy is hitting a new star system every year. We're yelling into a dark forest, assuming no predators are listening. The team that found this, they thought they had discovered city lights, a sign of civilization. They couldn't have been more wrong. Think about it. Why would a civilization on a tidally locked planet, a planet with a permanent night side, build their cities on the surface? Why not underground, shielded from the radiation of their twin suns? It makes no sense from a survival perspective, unless the lights aren't for them.
A new observation was scheduled. Every second of the telescope's time is mapped out years in advance, but this was different. Schedules were cleared. Other projects were shelved. Webb was turned back to Lumen 16b. For 12 hours, it did nothing but stare.
No, that can't be right. Thermal output is up by a factor of 50. 50! That's not a city. That's a blast furnace, a grid of blast furnaces. The first observation was low energy, just a faint reading. Lena, look at the logs. Day 1, our first observation. Faint signal. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, our diagnostic sweep. All the way to day 12. Today, the very moment Webb re-established its targeting lock for this new observation, the energy output started to climb.
They didn't get brighter on their own. They got brighter because they knew we were looking.
From a biological perspective, this is terrifying. A display. That's what it is. Think of an anglerfish in the deep ocean. It doesn't glow for its own benefit. It glows to attract prey, or a peacock's feathers. A display to attract a mate, or the rattlesnake's tail. A display to threaten. To say, I am here, I see you, Do not come closer. We've stumbled into someone's territory, and they've just turned on the porch lights to show us their home.
Camouflage works until it doesn't. An animal in the wild can stay perfectly still, blending in for days. But the moment it knows it's been spotted, its behavior changes. The prey either flees or freezes. The predator announces itself. It has no more need for stealth. The hunt has already begun. They've been living on a dark rock perhaps for eons, in perfect quiet. We pointed the most powerful infrared telescope ever built directly at their home. For them, it must have felt like a searchlight snapping on in a pitch-black room, and they responded. The revelation sent a shockwave through the clandestine community that held the secret. The debate shifted. It was no longer about what the lights were. It was about what the lights meant. Was it a warning? A welcome? Or something else entirely? The decision was made to maintain the observation. To watch. To wait. Humanity, for the first time, was holding its breath. For 3 weeks, nothing changed. The grid of light on Lumen 16b blazed with the same impossible steady intensity. The team watched. The world leaders who knew waited. It was a standoff across trillions of miles of empty space. Then, on the 22nd day of observation, the pattern changed.
What is it doing? Is it random?
No, it's not random. That's a sequence. They are turning the lights off and on. My God, it's a message.
They weren't just lights. They were pixels. Pixels on a screen the size of a planet. And for 48 hours, they shifted and moved, forming complex shapes and patterns that no one could decipher. Until the final image resolved. Oh God, it's not a message, it's a mirror. They sent us a picture of the weapon we used to find them. It's the ultimate act of intimidation. It demonstrates a technological capability that is incomprehensible. The ability to detect the shape of our telescope from 6.5 light years away, to understand what it was, and to build a planet-sized monument in its image, just to show us that they know. It is the cosmic equivalent of finding a footprint in your locked house. The oldest question was, are we alone? We spent a century shouting into the darkness, hoping for an answer. We finally got one. Not from a signal we received, but from a photograph we took. We had announced our presence, not with a broadcast, but with a glance. And across 6.5 light years of silent space, a new question began to form. The only question that mattered now.